I found out my wife and her friends staged a fake breakup just to test me. They rehearsed the script like it was a Broadway show. They wanted to see if I'd beg, panic, or fight for her. Imagine hearing your own marriage treated like an experiment, with an audience listening in. I didn't explode. I stayed calm. That scared her more. My name's Daniel. I'm 37, work in logistics, live in Charlotte. Married 8 years to Claire. On the outside, we looked solid. 2 cars, a decent house. No kids yet, but we'd talked about it. Inside, lately, something felt off. Strange passwords on her phone. Late nights with the girls. And the way she looked at me sometimes, like I was a business proposal instead of a husband. That day, I came home early. The quarterly meeting wrapped up ahead of schedule. Sunlight still stretched across the driveway when I pulled in. I expected the usual, her on the couch, maybe Netflix humming, maybe dinner started. Instead, silence. Then voices. Not TV. Speakerphone. 3 women. Claire's voice right in the middle. I froze in the hallway, keys in hand. Then I set them down gently, careful not to make a sound. Years of dealing with warehouse crises had taught me. Wait, listen, collect data before you act. And I heard everything. Start with I've been thinking, one friend said. Then move to I need space. End with maybe we should take a break. Make it serious, another voice added. No tears. He needs to believe it's real. A third voice laughed. Men only appreciate value when it's threatened. Trust me. Then came Claire's turn. Hesitant, low. So, if I say I need space, he'll fight for me? Yes. They all answered like some twisted cheer squad. If he panics, it means he still cares. If he doesn't, well, then you know. I stood there, heart pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. They weren't talking about therapy, or about fixing things. They were planning an act. A test. A humiliation dressed up as concern. That's when something inside me shifted. Not anger. It was too clean for anger. It was like when a math equation finally balances. The truth had been there all along. Now it stared me in the face. I stepped back to the door, picked up my keys again, and let the metal bowl clatter like I'd just arrived home. Instantly, the call cut. Dead silence. Then Claire's bright voice, a second too cheerful. Hey, you're home early. She jumped up, plastered on a smile, kissed my cheek. Mint tea on her breath. Lip balm. Too rehearsed. Too late. I played along. Asked about her day. She lied smoothly. Oh, just meetings, a headache, nothing new. I nodded. We ate takeout that evening, sitting on the patio. She scrolled her phone more than she looked at me. Every vibration on the table reminded me of those whispers I'd overheard. And I just sat there, building a plan in my head. That night, I opened the lockbox I keep hidden behind a picture frame in my office. Inside were passports, account summaries, the deed copy. Months ago, when I started noticing odd shifts, I prepared for something. I added one more line to my notes. Hotel reservation downtown. At 10, she appeared in the doorway. Leaning against the frame, soft smile, testing me. Will you be up late? She asked. I told her I had emails. She studied my face, searching for panic, fear, anger, something she could use. I smiled calmly. Don't wait up. She left. I kept typing. Not emails, just reminders. Update emergency contacts. Call the lawyer a colleague recommended. Boundaries aren't speeches, they're switches. And tonight, I flipped mine. The next evening, she finally tried the script. Right after dinner, she folded her hands neatly, inhaled dramatically, held my gaze for exactly 3 beats, just like they'd coached her. Then she said the words, I've been thinking. About us. About whether I'm really happy. I didn't interrupt. I didn't save her. I let her keep going. I think I need space. Maybe a break, just to figure myself out. Her eyes searched my face, waiting for me to crumble, to beg, to fight. I just set my glass down. I hear you, I said. What does space mean to you, in practical terms? That single word, practical, wasn't in her script. And I watched her stumble. She blinked. That single word, practical, had knocked her off her script. She stammered. Just less pressure. Maybe some nights apart. Maybe a weekend with the girls. Her phone, face down on the table, buzzed. A faint muffled laugh leaked through. My stomach turned cold. The audience was still here. I leaned back in my chair. So, is this really about us, Claire? Or is it about them? Her eyes flicked to the phone, then back to me. It's about us, she insisted quickly, voice brittle. Then turn it off. She froze. A full 3 seconds. Then, reluctantly, she slid her hand over the phone, tapped something, and placed it face up. The screen glowed. A group call, 3 faces lined up. They weren't even muted. My jaw tightened, but my voice stayed level. Evening, ladies, I said. The faces jolted, eyes widening. A nervous giggle, a cough. And then the screen went dark as they scrambled to hang up. Claire's face went crimson. It's not. It is, I cut in. And now it's on the table. Silence stretched between us. The kind that makes your own heartbeat sound loud. She swallowed, searching for footing, but the ground had already cracked beneath her. I didn't shout. I didn't accuse. I asked calmly, what exactly were you hoping to learn, staging a fake breakup with a live audience? Her lips trembled. I wanted to know if you'd fight for me. I shook my head slowly. Fight? Claire, fighting is for opponents. Do you plan on being one? That line hit harder than any raised voice could have. She leaned back, blinking fast, as if trying to rewrite the scene in her head. Then came the twist I didn't expect. She whispered, I think I already ruined it. The admission caught me off guard. Not because it was remorse, it wasn't, but because it sounded like fear. I pressed. Ruined what exactly? She hesitated, then blurted, I've been talking to someone. Just talking. I swear it's nothing physical. But he listens. He makes me feel chosen. There it was. The real crack. The test wasn't about my reaction. It was a shield. A cover. I stared at her, steady, unflinching. So this is about another man. Her eyes filled but no tears fell. It's not like that. I haven't done anything wrong. Not wrong. I repeated slowly. You staged a fake breakup. You dragged your friends into it. You invited an audience into our marriage. And now you're telling me there's someone else in the wings. That's not wrong. What would you call it then? She broke. I don't know. I leaned forward, elbows on the table. My voice dropped. Claire, I'm not angry. I'm not jealous. I'm not panicking. Do you know what I am? She shook her head. Done with games. The words landed like stones. Her phone buzzed again. This time, a text preview flashed across the screen. A man's name I didn't recognize. The message read, Did you tell him yet? I'm here if you need me. The air went sharp. Claire lunged for the phone, but I was faster. I picked it up, read the text again, and placed it face down between us. So, was this test really about me? Or was it about clearing a path to him? Her face drained of color. She whispered, Please don't do this now. Now is exactly when we do this, I said firmly. She stood up, pacing the kitchen like a trapped animal. It's not serious. He's just a coworker. It was innocent at first. Then I got confused. My friends said maybe you'd stopped caring, so they told me to test you. I cut her off. They didn't tell you to cheat, Claire. That was your choice. She pressed her hands to her face. I didn't cheat. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. Texting another man about your marriage while putting me through a fake breakup? That's not fidelity. That's betrayal. She dropped her hands, shaking. So what now? You're just going to leave? I stood, collected my plate, and rinsed it in the sink like we were any normal couple cleaning up after dinner. My calmness terrified her more than fury ever could. Then I turned. Here's what happens now. Tomorrow, 9 p.m., we sit down. You write out exactly what you want. No scripts. No audiences. Just you and me. If I don't see clarity, I'll call the attorney I already consulted. Her mouth fell open. You already. Yes, I said flat. Months ago, when I saw the first cracks. I didn't want to believe them. Tonight confirmed everything. She sank into the chair, pale, whispering, Daniel, I'm scared. I didn't flinch. You should be. I left the table, grabbed my overnight bag from the hall, and slung it over my shoulder. I'll be staying at the hotel. You can have the house. She jumped up. Wait, please, don't just walk out. I stopped at the door and looked back. Claire, you wanted to see how I'd react. This is it. I don't beg. I don't crawl. I draw lines. And you just crossed every single one. Her voice cracked. So this is it. You're ending us? I opened the door, let the night air in, and said the one sentence that left her trembling in the doorway. I'm not ending anything, Claire. You are. Then I walked out. The hotel room was quiet. Too quiet. I lay on the bed staring at the ceiling, thinking about that text from the other man. Did you tell him yet? I'm here if you need me. That wasn't innocent. That wasn't harmless. That was a man waiting in the wings. By morning, the messages started rolling in. Not from Claire. She went silent. From her friends. One wrote, We were only trying to help. You didn't have to humiliate us by catching the call. Another, Claire is heartbroken. Why are you being so cold? And the third one, pure venom. If you really loved her, you'd fight harder. She deserves better. I laughed out loud. Better? Better than a husband who worked, provided, stayed loyal, and never once staged a performance for strangers? The irony was so sharp it cut me. I replied to all three with one sentence. A test that requires betrayal isn't a test. It's cruelty. Silence. Not one of them fired back after that. At noon, Claire broke the silence with a single text. Can we meet tonight? Just us. Please. I answered. 9 p.m. At the house. Be ready with honesty. The hours dragged. My mind kept circling that name. The man she'd been talking to. I didn't even know his face, but he'd been living rent-free in my marriage. The thought boiled in me. Shock, anger, sarcasm, all rolled into one ugly knot. Did he sit there smugly while she played test my husband games? Did he know he was backup? Or worse, was he already first place? By 8:55, I was parked in the driveway. The house glowed warm like any normal home. Inside, it felt like a stage. She'd set 2 glasses on the coffee table, a bottle of wine between them, her phone tucked neatly out of sight. Too neat. She tried to smile. Thanks for coming. I sat down opposite her. Let's skip the polite small talk. Where do we start? Her voice shook. I messed up. Which part? I asked. The fake breakup? The live audience? Or the coworker? Her eyes went wide. She hadn't expected me to say it. Daniel, it wasn't. I cut her off. His message popped up. Claire. He asked if you told me yet. Told me what exactly? That he's waiting for my wife while she scripts fake heartbreak? Tears welled. We just talked. It wasn't an affair. I swear. I leaned in, voice steady but sharp as glass. Do you think I care about your technicalities? Betrayal doesn't need a bed to exist. Emotional cheating. Secret loyalty shifts. Lies. That's enough. She covered her face, sobbing now. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I almost laughed. Sarcasm slipped out before I could stop it. Oh, you accidentally fell into a group call rehearsing my destruction? You tripped into another man's inbox? Spare me, Claire. Her phone buzzed on the table. The name lit up. Ryan. I tapped the screen and slid it toward her. Answer it. Put him on speaker. Her face blanched. No, please. Then I will. I reached. She grabbed my wrist. Daniel, don't. He doesn't know the whole story. I raised an eyebrow. Funny. Neither did I. Her hand trembled as she pulled back. The phone kept buzzing. Buzz. Buzz. Until finally, voicemail. The silence after felt heavier than any scream. I stood, pacing the room. My anger was hot now, finally breaking through the calm. You had the nerve to ask if I'd fight for you. Fight for what? A woman who hands me scripts? A woman who invites her friends into our marriage? A woman who keeps another man on standby? She sobbed harder. Stop. Please. I still love you. I stopped dead. Love. I spat the word. Love doesn't stage betrayal for applause. Love doesn't send your husband to bed while you text someone else that you feel chosen. Love doesn't make me the punchline of your girlfriend's private show. She collapsed into the couch, shaking. For the first time, I saw real fear in her eyes. Not fear of me. Fear of losing the control she thought she had. I exhaled slowly, forcing myself back into steel calm. Here's how this goes. Tomorrow morning, we call a counselor. We start the session with you saying one sentence out loud. I staged a fake breakup with my friends listening to test my husband. Until those words leave your mouth in front of a professional, there's nothing to repair. She shook her head violently. No, I can't. That would make me look awful. Claire, I said coldly, you already look awful. The only question left is whether you'll own it. Her phone buzzed again. Another message preview flashed. Ryan, do you need me to come over? I looked at her. She looked at me. The weight of it pressed down like a storm cloud. And that's when the front porch light flicked on. A car door slammed outside. Footsteps. Then a knock at the door. Her face drained. Oh my God, he came. I stared at her, blood pounding in my ears. You invited him here? She shook her head frantically. I didn't. I swear I didn't. Another knock. Harder this time. My jaw clenched. The game had just changed. The knock rattled the front door like a warning shot. Claire froze, pale, whispering, Daniel, please don't open it. I didn't move. You already opened the door, Claire. Just not with your hands. Another knock. Louder. This time followed by a man's voice. Claire? It's me. Can we talk? Her lips trembled. He wasn't supposed to come. I strode to the door and yanked it open. Ryan stood there, tall, smug, a button-down shirt untucked like he thought messy charm counted as authenticity. His eyes darted from Claire to me, then back. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. The gall of it made me laugh, sharp and humorless. She's fine, I said. You, however, are about to regret knocking. Claire bolted forward. Stop. Please, don't fight. Fight. I asked, eyes locked on Ryan. Why would I fight for what doesn't belong to me anymore? Ryan shifted, awkward, then tried to sound noble. She told me you don't make her feel chosen. That you're cold. I was just trying to be a friend. Friend. I barked out a sarcastic laugh. Friends don't wait for the wife of another man to declare an opening. Friends don't text married women at midnight. So which one are you, Ryan? The backup plan or the idiot puppet? His jaw tightened, but before he could respond, another voice cut through. Are you kidding me, Claire? We all turned. Standing in the doorway behind Ryan was Emily, Claire's younger sister. Dark hair, furious eyes, and a presence that made the air snap. She must have pulled up right behind him. Claire's face drained. Emily, what are you? I came because Mom said you sounded off on the phone. Emily snapped. I thought maybe you were sick. But this? She gestured at Ryan. You dragged him here? While your husband's still in the house. Ryan shifted like he'd been caught sneaking out of a classroom. She didn't drag me. Emily turned on him like a knife. Shut up. You're pathetic. The silence that followed was electric. Claire buried her face in her hands. Ryan scowled. And me? I leaned back on the doorframe, almost enjoying the spectacle. I crossed my arms. Funny. I was going to ask him inside. But it looks like you brought your own executioner, Claire. Don't, she whimpered. Please don't make this worse. Emily's eyes snapped to me. How long has this been going on? I didn't sugarcoat it. I found out last night. Fake breakup rehearsal on speakerphone. Friends coaching her lines. Then Ryan here, waiting in the wings. Emily's jaw dropped. She looked at Claire like she'd never seen her before. Oh my God, you turned your marriage into a circus. For what? Attention? Claire sobbed. I was confused. I just wanted to feel wanted. Emily's voice cut like a blade. Wanted? You had a husband who loved you, and you threw him into an experiment? You embarrassed yourself, Claire. Not him. You. Ryan tried again, weakly. Look, maybe this isn't the time. I stepped forward, cold fury in my voice. Ryan, you showed up uninvited to a married woman's door. You made it the time. And then I did something that shocked everyone. I reached into my bag and pulled out my phone. I had already hit record before opening the door. Every word, every tear, every confession. It was all captured. I raised the phone slowly, showing the red recording icon. Claire gasped. Daniel, what are you? Emily's eyes widened. Ryan froze. I spoke evenly. You wanted an audience, Claire. Now you have one. This recording goes straight to my attorney tomorrow morning. No more scripts. No more lies. Just facts. The silence cracked open. Claire dropped to her knees, sobbing. Please, delete it. Don't destroy me like this. Ryan's face twisted. You can't. This is private. I turned the camera on him. Private? You stood on another man's porch and confessed your role in his marriage. You made it public the second you knocked. Emily shook her head, almost laughing bitterly. Wow, you really thought you were slick, Claire. You always accused me of chasing drama, but you staged an entire soap opera in your living room. Claire looked up at her sister, desperate. Emily, please help me. Emily's face hardened. Help you? No. I'm staying to make sure Daniel doesn't walk away thinking every woman in this family is a liar. Claire wailed. Ryan muttered curses under his breath. And I hit stop on the recording and slid the phone into my pocket. Tomorrow, I said firmly, 9 a.m., counselor's office. If you refuse to say that sentence, I staged a fake breakup to test my husband. Then I walked straight to the attorney. No negotiations. No apologies. Just divorce. Claire shook her head violently. You wouldn't. I locked eyes with her. Try me. Emily crossed her arms, backing me up. He would. And honestly, he should. Ryan opened his mouth again. I raised a hand. Don't. Not another word. You're done here. For the first time that night, Ryan looked like he understood he wasn't the hero in this story. He turned, muttering, and walked into the night. Claire sobbed into her hands. Emily stared at her sister with disgust. And I felt something shift in my chest. Not anger, not relief. Something cleaner. The game was over. The stunt was recorded. The audience had collapsed. And for once, I wasn't the one on trial. The next morning, I walked into the counselor's office 10 minutes early. Neutral beige walls, soft chairs, a table stacked with tissues. The kind of room built for damage control. At exactly 9:02, Claire stumbled in. Hair pulled back, eyes swollen from crying. Emily trailed behind her, arms crossed, face carved from stone. The counselor greeted us politely, motioning to sit. Claire slid into the chair beside me. Emily sat against the wall, like a witness in a courtroom. The counselor smiled gently. Why don't we start with what brought you here? I folded my arms. We'll start with Claire's line. The one she owes me. Out loud. No script. No editing. The counselor looked confused. What line? Claire's face flamed red. She twisted her hands, whispering, Daniel, please don't. I cut in. Say it, Claire. Her jaw trembled. Silence stretched until it felt like the room itself was listening. Finally, she whispered, I staged a fake breakup with my friends to test my husband. Emily muttered under her breath. Finally. The counselor blinked, surprised. That's unusual. Can you explain why? Claire broke down, sobbing. I wanted to feel chosen. He's always so calm, so controlled. I thought if he panicked, it meant he cared. My friends told me to. I interrupted. Your friends didn't text Ryan. The counselor glanced at me. Ryan. That's when the door opened. And in walked the last person I expected, Ryan himself. He looked nervous but defiant. Claire asked me to come. Emily shot up. Are you serious? She dragged you here too? The counselor looked rattled. I usually don't allow third parties. I leaned back, voice cold. No. Let him stay? Let's see what circus act Claire wants to perform today. Claire buried her face in her hands. I just wanted everything out in the open. Ryan tried to sound noble. She told me she felt invisible. I listened. That's all. I almost laughed. Listened? You texted her. Did you tell him yet? That's not listening, Ryan. That's lining up. Emily glared at him. You're disgusting. The counselor raised a hand. Okay, let's slow down. Claire, what exactly is your relationship with Ryan? Claire hesitated. Her lips parted, but no words came. Her silence was louder than any confession. Emily snapped. Say it, Claire, or I will. Claire's head whipped toward her. Emily, don't. The air thickened. My pulse thudded. Don't what? I demanded. Emily's voice cracked like a whip. Don't admit that Ryan isn't the first man she's pulled this stunt with. The room froze. My chest tightened. What did you just say? Emily's eyes burned. You think this was her first test? Her first little game? No. She's done this before. Different man. Same trick. She nearly blew up her engagement to her last fiancé with the same drama. That's why Mom begged her not to mess this marriage up. Claire shot up, trembling, her voice shrill. That was years ago. It was nothing. I stared at her, blood roaring in my ears. Years ago? You tested him too. She broke, tears streaking. Yes. Yes, I did. But you don't understand. I never thought you'd find out. I thought I was better now. I thought I was safe with you. The irony hit like a hammer. Safe. She thought lies and staged heartbreak equaled safety? Ryan sat back, stunned. Wait, you tested another guy before me? He looked sick. Claire, what the hell? Emily's laugh was bitter, cutting. You thought you were special, Ryan? She recycles the same playbook. You're not her savior. You're just the sequel. The counselor scribbled notes frantically, trying to regain control. Claire, is this true? You've used these tactics before? Claire sobbed into her hands. Yes. I can't help it. I need to know people care. If they don't fight for me, I feel worthless. I didn't mean to ruin things. Her words spilled out, ugly, frantic, desperate. I sat in silence, staring at the woman I married. Every secret, every script, every staged tear suddenly made sense. This wasn't a one-time mistake. It was a pattern. Finally, I stood. Calm. Ice cold. So it wasn't about me at all. It never was. It's about you. About your addiction to chaos. About dragging people into your little experiments just to see if they'll dance. Claire reached for me, sobbing. Daniel, please, I can change. I'll go to therapy. I stepped back. No, Claire. I'm not another experiment. I'm not another test subject. I'm the last one. Emily whispered, almost to herself. Finally. Ryan pushed his chair back, muttering. I didn't sign up for this circus. He stormed out, slamming the door. Claire collapsed, shaking, broken. The counselor looked at me cautiously. Daniel, what do you want to do now? I answered without hesitation. End it. I won't compete with ghosts of tests she already ran. I won't wait for the next stunt. Respect is non-negotiable. She failed. Claire screamed, raw and desperate. No, you can't just walk away. Please, Daniel. I love you. I turned to Emily. Stay with her. She'll need family when this falls apart. Then I looked back at Claire, voice steady, final. Love doesn't look like this. This was never love. This was a game. And I don't play games. I walked out of the counselor's office, leaving Claire crumpled in her chair, sobbing, Emily shaking her head, and a counselor who'd just witnessed the anatomy of a marriage self-destruct in real time. But as the door shut behind me, one question pounded in my head. If this wasn't the first time, then how many other times had I been played without even knowing? 2 days later, the storm broke wide open. Claire's parents called me. Her mother, voice trembling, begged me to please reconsider. She just made a mistake. Her father, though, was blunt. Son, do what you have to. We warned her years ago. That phrase stuck. We warned her. How many people knew who she really was before I did? By afternoon, the cracks turned into an avalanche. Screenshots started flying into my phone. Not from me. Her own friends turning on each other. One confessed they'd recorded part of the fake breakup rehearsal. Another swore it wasn't their idea at all. The third posted a sanctimonious meme about choosing yourself, like betrayal was self-care. And then came the final stunt. Ryan showed up at my hotel. He didn't knock politely. He pounded, loud enough that guests opened their doors to peek. When I opened mine, he was red-faced, wild-eyed. You destroyed her. She's falling apart because of you. I stared at him, calm as stone. No, Ryan. She destroyed herself. You just handed her the matches. He shoved at me, anger flaring. The hotel manager rushed down the hall. Sir, you need to leave, or I'm calling the police. Ryan jabbed a finger at me. You'll regret this. She'll move on, she'll be happier, and you'll be alone. I almost smiled. Better alone than surrounded by liars. He left, cursing under his breath, while the other guests whispered. I shut my door, strangely at peace. The next morning, I filed the papers. Clean split. House listed. Accounts divided. Respect intact. But the fallout didn't end there. Emily called that evening. She's spiraling, Daniel. Crying nonstop, blaming everyone but herself. She even tried to say I ruined her marriage because I didn't cover for her. I sighed. That's not your burden, Emily. She wrote this script. She just hates living in it. Emily was quiet for a beat, then said something that shocked me more than anything yet. You know, part of me thinks she wanted to get caught. She needed someone to finally hold up the mirror. That hit deep. Maybe she was right. The weeks that followed were strangely light. No buzzing group chats, no staged breakdowns, no half-smiles hiding manipulation. Just me, silence, and the quiet hum of rebuilding. I moved into a small apartment near the park. Bought furniture I actually liked. Ran every morning until my lungs burned and my head cleared. Claire tried one last time. She showed up at my door in the rain, mascara streaked, holding a photo album of our wedding. She clutched it like proof. Daniel, please. I can change. Don't erase us. I looked at her, steady. I'm not erasing us. I'm erasing the performance you turned us into. She dropped the album on the doorstep and ran into the night. I didn't pick it up. The rain did its work. By morning, the pictures inside had bled into one another, colors swirling, faces vanishing. And I realized something. That was the perfect metaphor. Love without respect always dissolves. Always. Months later, I saw her again. Not planned. At a cafe downtown. She was laughing too loud, head tilted toward another man. For a second, she noticed me. Our eyes met. She froze, then gave me a weak wave. I nodded once. Not cruel, just final. And I walked away without a single weight on my chest. Because the truth was simple. I wasn't her experiment anymore. I wasn't her test subject. I was free. The game ended. I won. That's the end of today's story. Did things turn out the way you thought, or were there some surprises along the way? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't joined the community yet, now's the perfect time. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always the first to catch new stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.